a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Chennai Super Kings. The Chennai Super Kings are a franchise cricket team based in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, which plays in the Indian Premier League. Founded in 2008, the team plays its home matches at the Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. After serving a 2-year suspension from the IPL starting July 2015 for the alleged involvement of their owners in the 2013 Indian Premier League betting case, the Super Kings will return to the league in 2018. Prior to the suspension, the team was captained by Mahendra Singh Dhoni and coached by Stephen Fleming. The Super Kings have lifted the IPL title twice and have the best win percentage among all teams in the IPL. In addition, they have also won the Champions League 2020 in 2010 and 2014. The leading run scorer of the team is Suresh Raina, while the leading wicket-taker is Ravichandran Ashwin. The brand value of the Super Kings in 2015 was estimated at $67 million, making them the third most valuable franchise in the IPL. Franchise history. In September 2007, the Board of Control for Cricket in India announced the establishment of the Indian Premier League, a 2020 competition to be started in 2008. In January 2008, the BCCI unveiled the owners of 8 city-based franchises. The Chennai franchise was sold to the India Cements for $91 million, making it the 4th most expensive team in the league behind Mumbai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. India Cements acquired the rights to the franchise for 10 years. Former ICC chairman N. Srinivasan was the de facto owner of the Chennai Super Kings, by means of his position as the vice chairman and managing director of India Cements Limited. The franchisee was transferred to a separate entity named Chennai Super Kings Cricket Limited after the Supreme Court of India struck down the controversial amendment to the BCCI Constitution's Clause 6.2.4 that allowed board officials to have a commercial interest in the IPL and the Champions League T20 on January 22, 2015. 2008-2009 first seasons. During the first player auctions for the inaugural IPL season conducted in January 2008, the Chennai franchise bought a number of contemporary star cricketers such as Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Matthew Hayden, Stephen Fleming, Matai Muralitharan and Michael Hussey. Dhoni became the costliest player of the auction, as the Chennai franchise bought him for $1.5 million. The franchise named Dhoni as the captain of the team and appointed Kepler Wessels as the head coach. They played their first game on April 19, 2008 against Kings 11 Punjab at Mohali. The Super Kings won the game by 33 runs after posting 245ths in 20 overs, which was the highest total of the tournament, a record surpassed by themselves in 2010. The Super Kings ended the league stage with 8 wins from 14 games and finished third on the points table. They beat the Kings 11 Punjab by 9 wickets in the semi-final. The Super Kings faced the Rajasthan Royals in the final of the IPL at Mumbai. Batting first, the Super Kings scored 163 fifths in 20 overs and lost the game by 3 wickets off the final delivery of the match. They also earned a spot in the inaugural Champions League 2020 along with Rajasthan, but the tournament was cancelled due to the 2008 Mumbai attacks, and the Super Kings, along with Rajasthan, received $5 million each as compensation. Fleming, who had decided to retire from all forms of the game after the first season of the IPL, took over as the coach of the Super Kings team from Wessels for the next season, which was to be held in South Africa. For the 2009 season, the Super Kings bought English all-rounder Andrew Flintoff for $1.55 million at the auction, making him the highest-paid IPL cricketer along with English teammate Kevin Pietersen, who was bought for the same amount by Royal Challengers Bangalore. However, Flintoff played only 3 matches for them before suffering a knee injury that ruled him out of the season. The Super Kings were also without the services of Hussey, who had decided to skip the IPL season to focus on the Ashes. The Super Kings finished with 17 points from 14 matches and earned a second place at the league table. However, at the semi-finals, their hopes of entering the final for a second time were crushed by the Royal Challengers, who beat them by 6 wickets. The Super Kings opener Matthew Hayden, who scored 572 runs in 12 innings with 5 half-centuries at an average of 52 and strike rate of 145. Won the Orange Cap for the leading run scorer of the season and was also adjudged player of the tournament. 2010 IPL and CLT20 double. In 2010, the Super Kings struggled in the first half of the regular season, winning only 2 matches out of 7. They won 4 of their next 5 games in the season mainly due to the efforts of Murali Vijay and Suresh Raina. After a defeat at home to the Delhi Daredevils, the Super Kings were left with a must-win match against Kings 11 Punjab at Dharamshala. The Super Kings won the match by 6 wickets as they chased down the target of 193 with 2 balls to spare, with skipper Dhoni scoring an unbeaten 54 from 29 balls. Thus, with 7 wins from 14 matches, Chennai finished with the same number of points as 3 other teams with 2 semi-final spots at stake. Chennai got the 3rd place as they had the better net run rate of the 4 teams which finished on 14 points. In the semi-final, the Super Kings scored a modest 142 sevenths in 20 overs against the defending champions Deccan Chargers. But an inspired bowling spell from Doug Bollinger did the most damage as the Chargers were bowled out for 104. This gave the Super Kings a 38-run victory that took them to the final. The Super Kings faced the tournament favourites Mumbai Indians at their home ground in the final. Suresh Raina's 57 helped the Super Kings recover from 68 thirds after 12 overs to put up 168 fifths at the end of their 20 overs. Then, their spin duo of Ravichandran Ashwin and Muralitharan conceded only 41 runs in the 8 overs bowled between them to help the Super Kings win the game by 22 runs and secure their first ever IPL title. With this, the Super Kings also qualified for the 2010 Champions League 2020 that was held in South Africa. At the Champions League, the Super Kings were placed in Group A along with champions of 2020 competitions from Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and Sri Lanka. The Super Kings topped the group table with 3 wins and a super over defeat to the Victorian Bushrangers. In the semi-final at Durban, the Super Kings comprehensively defeated IPL rivals Royal Challengers Bangalore by 52 runs. Raina won the man of the match for his unbeaten 94 off 48 balls. The Super Kings played their first CLT20 final at Johannesburg where they beat the Chevrolet Warriors by 8 wickets, becoming the first IPL team to win the CLT20. Murali Vijay won not only the man of the match in the final for his 58, but also the Golden Bat for scoring the most runs in the tournament, and Ashwin, who was the leading wicket-taker, was adjudged the player of the series. At the end of the season, Matthew Hayden decided to retire from the IPL. 2011-2015. In 2011, as 2 new teams were added to the IPL Governing Council declared that each franchise could retain a maximum of 4 players of their squad, only 3 of whom can be Indian players, and the rest of the international players would be put in the mega auction. The Chennai franchise, keen to have the same set of core players, retained captain MS Dhoni, vice-captain Suresh Raina, Murali Vijay and all-rounder Albi Morkel, for a total of $4.5 million. The retention left them with the power of spending only $4.5 million at the mega auction. At the auction, they bought back some of their star players of previous seasons such as Hussey, Ashwin, Bollinger, and Subramaniam Badrinath. In the 2011 IPL, they lost 3 of their first 5 games, which placed them at the bottom of the 10-team points table. But then, they went on to win 7 of their next 8 games to finish second and register a spot in the knockout stages. They faced the top-ranked team Royal Challengers Bangalore in the qualifying final, which they won by 6 wickets thanks to an unbeaten 73 from Suresh Raina. In the final, they faced the same opponents again, which was held at their home ground Chepauk. Vijay and Hussey put on a 133-run first wicket partnership that helped the Super Kings to post a total of 205 fifths. Their bowlers then restricted Bangalore to only 147 to take the Super Kings to second consecutive title in the IPL. Vijay was awarded man of the match for his match-winning innings of 95. CSK also won all their home games that season, becoming the first team in IPL to achieve the feat. However, at the Champions League later that year, they won only 1 out of their 4 group matches and finished at the bottom. In 2012, the franchise signed up Indian all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja for $2 million at the players' auction. They got off to a rather slow start in the regular season, winning only 5 of their first 12 games, which put them in doubt of qualifying for the playoffs. Then they won 3 of their last 4 matches and qualified for the playoffs with a better net run rate than the Royal Challengers, who also finished with the same number of points. In the eliminator, they beat the Mumbai Indians by 38 runs before comprehensively beating the table toppers Delhi Daredevils in the qualifying final by 86 runs. Murali Vijay, who struck his second IPL 100, won the man of the match. At the final, the Super Kings were defeated by 5 wickets by the Kolkata Knight Riders, who chased down the target of 191 with 2 balls to spare, thus denying the Super Kings a hat-trick of titles in the IPL. At the Champions League, once again they could not progress past the group stage with 2 wins and 2 defeats. In 2013, the Super Kings strengthened their bowling attack by signing up 5 overseas and 5 Indian bowlers. In the IPL season, they finished first in the points table with 11 wins from 16 matches and qualified for the playoffs and 2013 T20. This was the first time in 6 seasons that the Super Kings had topped the league table of the IPL. During the season, they also equaled Royal Challengers Bangalore's 2011 record for most wins in succession in the IPL. In the first qualifier, at Delhi against Mumbai Indians, the Super Kings posted 192 in 20 overs, riding on unbeaten half-centuries from Hussey and Raina before bowling out their opponents for 144. Thus they entered the final of the IPL for the 4th time in succession, where they would play the same opponents, Mumbai Indians, at Kolkata. At the final, batting first, the Mumbai Indians made 148 ninths in their 20 overs. In reply, the Super Kings were reduced to 39 sixths at one stage before an unbeaten half-century from skipper Dhoni took them close to the target. However, Mumbai Indians won the match by 23 runs to win their first ever IPL title. Super Kings opening batsman Michael Hussey, who scored 733 runs that season at an average of 52, won the orange cap for the most runs in the season, while all-rounder Dwayne Bravo won the purple cap for bagging the most wickets. The Super Kings gained direct qualification for the 2013 T20, which was held in India in September-October. They were placed in Group B alongside Brisbane Heat, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Titans and Trinidad and Tobago. They won their first 3 games before losing the final group match against Trinidad and Tobago. With 12 points from 4 matches, the Super Kings progressed to the semi-finals, where they suffered a 14-run defeat at the hands of the Rajasthan Royals at Jaipur. In 2014, before the players' mega auction, Chennai retained Dhoni, Raina, Jadeja, Ashwin, and Bravo. The retention left them with a purse of 21 crores to spend at the auction. At the auction, the franchise bought the likes of Brendan McCullum, Dwayne Smith, Faf du Plessis, Ashish Nehra, Mohit Sharma among others. The first phase of the IPL season, as it coincided with the general elections, was held in UAE. The second phase returned to India, but the Super Kings' home matches were shifted from Chennai, due to a deadlock between stadium authorities and the state administration, to JSCA International Stadium in Ranchi. The Super Kings started the season with a defeat in the opening match, after which they went on to win 8 of their next 9 matches to take the first spot in the points table. However, they suffered a loss of form towards the end of the regular season, which resulted in 3 consecutive defeats. They won their last league fixture and finished 3rd in the points table and qualified for the eliminator against the 4th-placed Mumbai Indians. They won the eliminator at Mumbai by 7 wickets and qualified for the qualifier. At the qualifier against Kings 11 Punjab, the Super Kings won the toss and elected to field. Punjab went on to score 226 sixths in their 20 overs. The Super Kings, in reply, could manage only 202 sevenths despite a 25-ball 87 from Raina. They crashed out of the IPL, but, on account of finishing 3rd, qualified for the main event of the 2014 T20. In the group stage of the T20, the Super Kings won 2 matches, lost 1 while another match was a no result. Thus with 10 points they finished 2nd in the group table, and qualified for the semi-final, where they met the unbeaten team of the other group, Kings 11 Punjab. After being put into bat, the Super Kings posted 182 sevenths in 20 overs thanks to Bravo, who scored a 39-ball 67. Then their bowlers reduced Punjab to 34 sixths in the 8th over, and Punjab were eventually bowled out for 117. At the final in Bangalore, the Super Kings faced the IPL champions Kolkata Knight Riders, who set them a target of 181 in 20 overs. Raina guided the run chase with an unbeaten 109 off 62 balls, helping the team to an 8-wicket win and their second T20 title. Super Kings spinner Pawan Negi, who took 522 during Kolkata's innings, won the man of the match, and Raina, who finished as the highest run-getter of the tournament, was awarded man of the tournament. In 2015, before the players' auction, Chennai Super Kings gave away Ben Hilfenhaus, John Hastings, Vijay Shankar, and David Hussey. At the auction they bought back Michael Hussey for a price of 1.5 crore rupees. They also bought Kyle Abbott, Irfan Pathan, Andrew Tye, Eklavya Dwivedi, Ankush Bains, Pratyush Singh, and Rahul Sharma. In the final, they lost against Mumbai. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like